Good morning. This is Michael Price from Kingdom Freedom Academy. Super excited again to bring another chapter from the Quantum Leap Strategy. This is a shorter chapter. They're usually only 2 pages. This one is called Fall in Love. Now, in the side margin there, it says, is it your head or your heart that most influences your aim? Well, let's find out. What do you really want? What excites you enough to move you to action? Your heart has to get involved in this because love is what fuels the quantum leap. Let me repeat that again. Your heart must get involved with this because it's your heart that fuels your quantum leap. I just got reminded. So I love how the Lord just speaks to me and free flows through me about Nehemiah. If you know the book of Nehemiah in the Bible, Nehemiah was the one of course, it's the Lord, but through Nehemiah, the Lord had Nehemiah rebuild the walls of Jerusalem in 52 days, a monumental task when it hadn't been done in over 70 years. Now, what prompted me and reminded me of this? When Nehemiah first went before the king knew him because he worked for the king. And the king just looked at him and he said, "What's wrong?" And the issue is Nehemiah's heart was burdened for his people and that his city, Jerusalem, lie in ruins. And therefore, because there were no walls, the people were not protected. What's my point? It's his heart. So what the Lord has prompted me to do, and I need to do more often, is to pray that my heart is burdened for the things that burdens him. When your heart is burdened for the things that burden the Lord, then you'll be like Nehemiah. And all he did, not all, but the first thing he did is when he went before the king, because he was burdened and the king noticed it, it was written all over his face. The king asked him, "What's wrong?" And he told him, my people's, city lies in ruins. Next question from the king is, "What do you want?" He said, "Well, I want to go rebuild the walls." So when you are burdened, when your heart is burdened for the things that burden the Lord, God will put kings before you and he will put resources before you. Because again, when Nehemiah said, "I want to go," the next question from the king is, "Well, what do you need?" And he said, basically, "Well, I need resources." Long story short, the king wrote letters, gave him resources, as well as wrote letters to other kings so that other kings could also give resources. Guys, this is just coming to me right now. This is huge. This is the whole key point to me from these 2 pages. So your heart has to get involved in this because love is what fuels the quantum leap. Your head figures out how to get there, but it's your heart that keeps you going. In the overall scheme of things, heart is probably not, the book says heart is probably far more important than brains. I'll say it's absolutely critical. Okay. And so again, my prayer is that you pray that the Lord would burden your heart for the things that burden him. Set your sights far above what is reasonable or practical or probable. Let me read that again. Set your heart, it says set your sights, but I'm going to say set your heart far above what is reasonable or practical or probable. Aim for the extraordinary, for that which is precious to you. Pursuing something you love, something you want passionately, produces inspiration. I don't know about you, but I feel super excited. Matter of fact, I'm going to share a commitment. When I get done with this recording, I pulled up Tim Tebow's personal website on Facebook yesterday. I'm going to reach out to him. Yesterday, I felt I had a foggy head. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel inspired. And I wanted to wait. Matter of fact, that's why I didn't record this last night. I wanted to wait till this morning when I was praying that, Lord, I would feel much better, that I feel inspired. When I'm inspired, what I'm going to commit to here is when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go to Tim Tebow's personal website, send him a personal message, and ask him if he'd be willing to allow us to interview him so that we can showcase who he is, his love for the Lord, and his ministries, and share that with Kingdom Freedom Academy members. Okay. Pursuing something you love, something you want passionately, produces inspiration. You become more creative, more intense. Commitment to your dream comes naturally, carrying you past the point of wishful thinking and disallowing half-hearted effort. If you're not in love with your dream, it's doubtful that you can successfully live out the quantum leap strategy. Passion starts the process, and caring enough keeps you going. So let emotion rather than intellect set your direction. Now, in a couple other previous videos, I talked about don't let your feelings, dictate what you do or don't go for with a quantum leap, because when you're going for a quantum leap, you're going to be pursuing something outside your current comfort zone, something bigger than where you're at right now. And that it will create feelings of doubt and questioning, and who am I, and can I really do this, and yada, yada, yada. Those are the quote feelings that I was mentioning in previous videos to set aside. Doubt your doubt is actually what I think the author of Quantum Leap says to do. But in this instance, what he's talking about is let your feelings, those of passion, those that are about what fills your heart, which again, my invitation to you is to pray for the Lord to burden your heart for what? For a bigger house, for a nicer car. I'm not saying and there's anything wrong with that. What I am saying is have your heart burdened for the things that burden the Lord. I've said that many times for a reason. All right, we're wrapping up. We've told you by the Fox in Antonio de Saint Expiatory's classic, The Little Prince. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading that. And now here is my quote secret, a very simple secret. It's only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Let me read that again. It's only with the heart that you can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Consider what has touched your soul. To find where you might make the quantum leap, you must look with your feelings, heed the heart. In the side margin of this second page, it says, can you loosen the limits on your thinking even more? Are you still holding back and giving yourself permission to pursue what you most want of all? Sorry, I was having a hard time reading that. So I pray this blesses you. My invitation to you is to take some quiet time, ask the Lord to burden your heart, see what he gives you a burden for. Ask him what he wants you to do. It's about taking action. Write it down, share it with someone that will hold you accountable to it. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for actually it will be Monday, for another chapter of the Quantum Leap strategy. God bless you. Michael Price from Kingdom Freedom Academy.